As far as like Uber Eats is not a necessity. Like a billion streaming services are not a necessity.
The technology fees.
Yeah, but basically that's okay. That might be it, and that is something that they consider. It's heavily considered. But like when you actually look at how much we spend on it, and like I said, when you compare that to just cable, it's like if you think about how much you spend a month on your phone. If you look at the plans on Verizon, if you got the phone that you need, and like mine, it was what $150 for my entire phone, and then the phone plan, which is like $60 a month for like our whole family or something like that, right, Mother? It's like when you compare that to like $80 a month for TV.
I'm spending like $165 right now on Verizon
for the whole family. Well, you added Lexi, and then
yeah, but I haven't added Gavin yet. But then I recently called and they said I could go down to $25 a month for each of us, so it'd be $125 for 5 of us plus tax and fees and all that, so it'd probably be like $150. That's with a discount, a military discount. I'm just saying that's just a bill that we didn't have before.
Yeah, and
then you've got iPads, you've got chargers, you've got earbuds, you've got headphones.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
It's constant shit.
That
but for a family though, it's constant, like a charger base.
Yeah, but okay, but you could say that about anything. As far as like back in the olden days, they had like bikes and scooters or whatever the hell you did back in the dinosaur age. You had like.
I know. I'm just saying, technology it is a factor. What you're talking about is a great point.
Yeah, but what?
And the difference in
what I'm saying
from Wendy's regular and ordering out on Uber Eats is insane.
But what I'm saying though, Mother, is that when you analyze that, then it's like, yeah, that might make up like 5% of American opinion, but American opinion is like 90% off of reality. So it's like, even if what you're saying is true and it actually accounts for some of that, there's no way it could possibly account for the insane gap between the average American's opinion on the economy and the actual statistical analyzation of what the economy looks like. And that's just bizarre. That's very strange to me.
Well, you got to think though, some people pay a lot more for tech.
No, you're not. No, you didn't engage with what I just said at all. I said that's been accounted for, and that might make up for some of it, but that there's no way that makes up for the massive disparity between the fact that every single American thinks that our economy is doing far worse than every single other country in the European Union, and every single one of them is doing worse than us. So for them, they spend money on technology. They don't live in the third world. All of them buy computers. All of them buy phones. All of them buy iPads and chargers. None of that is changing in Sweden or Norway or Denmark or any of these places. They're all still white people who have running water, right? But that doesn't change the fact that they don't think that their economy is about to collapse in 5 years, and theirs actually might be about to, but ours is nowhere close, and all of us think it is. So even if what you're saying with technology is true, it doesn't matter with what I'm saying. It's like, I'm sure you're right, and that does make up 5%, 10%, 15, 20, but it doesn't account for how insane the gap is. But yeah, what do you think about that, Charles? Is that not interesting? As far as like I feel like Nana, Papa, your parents, my parents, like if you ask anyone, they would say, "Yep, it's in the shitter." But like, I guess maybe Uncle Jeremy wouldn't. I don't know what.
Yeah, I remember him always saying that like it was good, and we were under the impression it was bad, and he saw it from the market's perspective. And if that's doing good, the stocks are doing good. His understanding that means the economy would be doing good.
And I get that to a degree, but I also feel like, I mean, we may see the stocks go strong until like the day the atom bombs drop. But what I'm saying is that like inflation is not high. Like the amount of people our age who have homes, it's not low. The amount of like average income per individual is not low. It's just like all of the things that I would imagine are like at an all-time low are even or higher than they were 10 to 20 years ago. Like, it's just weird.
But were you saying the statistic that people our age owning a home?
Yeah,
that I would find surprising.
Even that one apparently is reflects.
Where is this study coming out of? Is it like a new study?
This is several different studies. The reason I know about this is because Destiny has made it his new hobby to argue with everyone in chat, because everyone likes to say he's out of touch. And then he loves just going through chat and being like, you say I'm out of touch, you're banned. You got 15 minutes. If at the end of this video, you can't give me one fucking thing that I said, which is statistically reflected, you're banned, you're out. And he loves just combing through his chat and finding people who say you're out of touch and then being like, give me a reason or you're out. You're out forever. You're terminated. funny. But it is also fascinating because I would have been one of the people who disagreed with him at first. I was. I thought he was crazy. And then over time, you watch him weed people out, and no one has a good reason. That's like, well, that's the thing with Destiny that is insane, is that you never have to trust Destiny. You just have to watch the people who argue with Destiny. And if you see when someone has a good point, and even if Destiny beats that person, even if they're not good at articulating themselves, if they have a decent point, you can at least see that and then take it yourself and broaden it out. But whenever you see that no one even has anything, no one even has a single thing that makes you think, like makes me think or him think, like there's nothing, no one has any counterpoint beyond you're out of touch. Then it's like, wow, geez, well, I guess you're right. Even though I thought you were wrong, I guess you're right. Pretty interesting to be able to watch that unfold over the course of 2 months, and him.
So
be like,
he just has a more hopeful look for the future.
Yeah, he thinks things look great. It's fascinating. I think he's delusional to a degree. Maybe nowhere near as much as I thought he was 2 years ago. I still think, obviously, doesn't matter how good inflation's doing if I get drafted. I don't give a fuck what gas prices look like if he gets sent off to fucking Taiwan. And he can sit at home and drink his Soylent all day because he's like 39 years old or whatever. Fucking dusty bastard. But yeah, he's optimistic. I would like to argue with him. Like I said, I think he's delusional at the very least because he thinks like college is like a good use of your time, and it's like, even though he went and dropped out, he went for music, so I mean, it probably isn't. It probably, like, maybe it is useful in music. I have no idea. I don't never tried to play piano. Maybe there are piano techniques that are only taught in the ancient bard of fucking Nebraska College. I don't know. Maybe something right worse like Skyrim. But I'd like to argue about that.
One thing that I've heard, no idea the actual validity of the severity of it, but it's about food production, that could be disrupted with the weather of 2024. So at least to some degree, with El Nino and stuff, with the dry weather and stuff, that affects food production, and that could play a factor. So I would wonder about like the smaller factors like that you couldn't necessarily study for, that might come as a surprise. I would be cautious of that.
Well, yeah, obviously. But I don't even think Destiny would disagree. As far as like, I'm sure. I mean, I know for a fact he would say, yeah, there's a bunch of things outside of my, like, not wheelhouse, but like my field of view. Right? There's a bunch of things that I'm not studying because no one's really talking about them yet. But obviously, just like COVID, right? Like no one was talking about COVID before COVID hit the scene. And that could always be around the corner. Some new mutation, some new virus, some new market collapse, some new fucking Jesus, my brain's cooked. Whatever the word for like whenever ecosystem gets thrown out of whack, like the sharks eat too many fish, which collapses the squid population, and then the fucking algae kill the whales, whatever the name for that is. Like, of course, something random like that is unforeseen could always fuck us. But I think his point is just that, like, on all the observable metrics that we typically view, we're doing fine, which is weird.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like I'll welcome it. It's like, yeah, fine. Be fine. If that's the way you're gonna be absolutely fine.
Yeah, we'll see. With this year, things should be relatively pivotal. As far as we got the election cycle, which should be fun.
I can't wait.
What Destiny predicts is going to be like the complete and total collapse, no matter which way it goes. No matter if the Republicans win or the Democrats win, he says it'll be the complete and total collapse of the Republican Party. As far as like, it already happened pretty much with the last Trump election cycle. As far as it's a whole civil war. Like if you ask the average like 25-year-old Republican what he thinks about politics, and like he thinks that like Trump should be the dictator of the world. And then if you ask the average person above 50, then like they still have like their like so like for instance, if you ask the average like 25-year-old TikTok watching young person, or like even I guess 15, anywhere between like the 15 25, the young age range, right? If you ask them like what do you think about the Jews? They'll be like, the Jews control the world, they control the economy, they're you know what I mean, they're what's keeping us down. But then if you ask anyone above like 30 or 40, if you ask anyone in the older age range, they're gonna give you the classic when we were a kid, when we were watching Sesame Street, that kind of Republican take, which is like, you know what I mean, we should protect the Jewish people at all costs. That sort of like Christian, religious, almost like Israel protection. Like it's like a whole. It's like there's a direct split down the middle of kinds of Republicans. There's like the old age bracket and the new age bracket, and they don't agree on anything. If you ask them any question about politics, like there's not a single through line of why they believe or what they believe on anything, except for the fact that they think the Republicans should win, which is interesting because typically it's the lefties who are prone to this inner cannibalism. But with the lefties, it's not a civil war. It's the fact that it's an ongoing faction war, because whenever you're promoting freedom, obviously, you're leaving yourself open to change, and change is going to be self-evolving and consuming by its nature. But the Republicans, obviously conservatives by their very name, are going to try and hold on to principles over time. And now there's a complete and total civil war split down the middle of what principles they're trying to preserve. There's like the new age Andrew Tate, fresh and fit, like I want 9 wives and she's not allowed to fuck anyone else, that kind of Republican. And then there's there's me and my wife, and we live on a butterfly farm, and we've been married for 42 years, and I could never imagine looking at another woman. And we go to Denny's every Sunday, and that's our cheat meal. You know what I mean? It's like there's only those two. That's the only two kind of like Republicans being manufactured. And like I said, there's no agreement. So the second Trump
do they agree on Trump?
They agree on Trump to the degree of, I would want him to win over Biden, because Biden's a skeleton. That's about as far as it goes, and nothing else. And it's going to be the death of the party whenever Trump can't run anymore. If he wins, it's done. He blows everything up. If he tries to do another fake election cycle, tries to give himself more term limits, which he may not even do. Even if he doesn't
I would
matter.
just worry about the simple idea of that both parties, for whatever actually happens, both parties do not concede the election, and both swaths of the population both don't concede the election. And at that point, we no longer could like live in like what could be considered the same nation mentally.
I'm honestly really not worried about that at all. That's not a concern of mine at all, just because it's like the lefties, so many of the lefties actually are like Uncle Jeremy types. When people think of lefties, they think of the Twitter lefties. But when you actually look at like the polling data, a lot of lefties, obviously the more extreme, the more like college age retarded you get. But overall, there's a lot more lefties who just don't, they're not, they could not be fucked to care about anything even near a civil war. They don't even like, they literally are just like, I am going to my job. I need to fall.
But it's not about they want the war as much as they think, let's say Biden, they just think Biden's the president. He officially won.
But this is what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, imagine what Uncle Jeremy's reaction would be to thinking that the election is stolen from Biden. It's like, he'd be like,
I feel like if that was under the impression, which is the general idea, that if the fascist guy, the Donald Trump fascist guy, illegally took over the election, and everyone was under that impression, and everyone was under that understanding, more so than they were in 2016, because there was that understanding, there was that idea that Russia had hacked the election and got Donald Trump in. And so since 2016, no one's agreed on who actually officially won. So if that continues, that idea continues of that lack
But
of legitimacy
nothing,
in the election.
and nothing happened over that, and no one actually cared. The Trump
Yeah,
one is actually
but I'm saying we
the Trump
see
one,
exponentially, things are getting more and more heated as January 6th could be something that happens. Hold on 1 second.
but what I'm saying is I can only see the.
1 second. Sorry, go ahead.
I can only see the right getting more fired up. I don't see the left getting. I don't.
Well, it's not about being fired up. It's about.
I think the left could literally have the election be stolen from them and wouldn't do anything.
Wait. But then it's like, so then they don't care about democracy. No one would stand up for that.
Much.
Wait, what do you think about?
No.
Joe Biden would just be like, yes, he illegally stole the election. I'm fine with that. I don't see that happen. There would be conflict. There would be someone trying to uphold the election. Both sides would try to do that.
No. I don't. Here's what I think. I think there's no world in where it even looks like the left actually. There's no world where the right actually is able to steal.
They would at the very least try to impeach him.
That time passed,
and everyone would support that.
Yeah, but that's already happened now.
Yeah, but I'm saying the moment he gets in office, everyone would be like, "Oh, this is an illegitimate president because he illegally stole it, and we should get him out of it."
Now that could happen, but not the lefties. I'm telling you, there's no the lefties.
But the leftists are the ones that impeached him twice, and everyone supported it. If it's known and everyone agrees he stole the election, wouldn't everyone be yes, impeach him the day he gets in office? They would have it set up before he even gets there.
I don't understand what you're saying conveys your. I don't understand what you're saying conveys to your point, which is that there would be a civil war because both sides think the election got stolen. I don't think.
I'm not even saying civil war.
You're saying okay, social civil war. That's what you're saying, right? Like a split between.
Yeah, both people have a different understanding about who is the legitimate president of the United States.
Yeah, I think that happened to the largest degree we'll ever see in our lifetime.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what if it gets exponentially worse?
But I'm saying I see absolutely nothing which makes me think that's going to happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have people already under the impression that Donald Trump was
No. I'm saying as far as I get what you mean as far as if something does happen, people are more likely to get more agitated. I agree with that. But my statement though is that I see that actively the statistics for whether or not another event like that is going to happen in the near future. It dropped off a cliff the moment Donnie T did what he did. He shut the door on that possibility completely. He fucked the Republican Party so hard that they don't even have the ability to look like they're stealing an election anymore. And the left don't even really play that game. They're not really in the election stealing business. So it's that the whole election stealing.
Well, it's not even about. Let's just say Joe Biden wins legitimately. He's the legitimate winner, right? But Donald Trump claims otherwise. And Donald Trump has enough power.
That's what I said. Though. That's the right. I could see the right getting more fired up. I don't see the left getting.
But in that sense, in that sense, the right would be then fired up because of Donald Trump. Then in reaction, they would be fired up.
Yeah,
because they're trying to defend their president, Joe Biden.
But that's inevitable. And what I would say is that did you see the polls? It was literally they took polls and it was 40% or something insane like that. Over 40% of the Republican Party actively said that they thought the election was stolen from Trump. That's the highest statistics we'll ever see on that in our lives. There's no way Trump Trump lost part of the Trumple base whenever he didn't free the QAnon, or not the QAnon, when he didn't free the people who stormed the castle or whatever it is. They got over the alligator moat and with their spears and they got in the White House. And he fucked over the QAnon people when he didn't bring JFK back to life. He fucked over the average Republican when he tried to lead a coup. So it's Donald already fucked himself on his popularity. He will never be. He may win again. I'm not saying he can't win again, but I'm saying if he wins again, he will never have the kind of support that he had when that he did when he said the last election was stolen. So he will say the election was stolen. God knows he'll say it no matter what happens. He'll say it if he wins. But I stole it, and I stole it better than you've ever seen before. But that doesn't matter because no one's going to care as much as they did last election cycle. Just because he already ran he did the bit. The bit's never as funny the second time.
Yeah,
Okay,
I just fear people are going some American citizens are going to be like, oh, this is our last chance in our lives for something of what I want, and if this doesn't go my way, then this will be the last thing of this will be the end of America, as far as I know. And I can see people being
I
very.
really think that time has passed completely. I really do. I
Yeah.
don't think there's any. I think that fever pitch has like completely died. I think COVID was like the perfect breeding ground. And you know, obviously the political storm, with Trump and everything. But I just think he's already shot his ability to even if he does win and becomes president, and even if his popularity is like increases far beyond what it is now, he doesn't. He'll never be able to even have another senator agree with him. Like, he'll never be able to get another bill passed. He'll never be able to do anything that he wants to do that isn't fully supported by the Republican Party, because the entire rest of the Republican Party, is so done with him. So it's like,
So how
ability.
done with him are they truly? If he's the president, how done with him? Like, it doesn't seem like.
No, dude, I'm telling you, they're not. They're not. The rest of the Republican Party, they're not. They are not vibing with having the White House be stormed. You understand? They're the people who are threatened when that happens. They don't like that. They don't like when Donald Trump says that. Literally, he literally has a quote that's like, maybe they should kill Pence if he doesn't rewrite the votes. He literally has a quote like that. That's not cool. No one likes that. Because what that means is that Trump does not play by our rules, and he's willing to storm down our doors and have us get killed with his fans. And they'll never let him. They will never let him have as long as a leash as he did. When he was in last time, it'll never happen. You'll never see it. I'm not saying they won't work with him. I'm not saying, obviously, if Trump wants to get something done, and then all of the Republicans also want to get that same thing done, obviously they'll let Trump do that. What I'm saying is, Trump will never be allowed to do anything but that ever again. He will never have free reign to do anything creative, because both the Republicans and the Democrats will be sitting there waiting to fuck his ass off.
What do you know about Project 2025? Is that a concern in your eyes?
I don't even know what that is.
That's like a conservative sort of policy plan they have that would be extremely conservative sort of policy on the internet. I want to look it up really quick. It's like the
Sharia law.
Yeah,
American internet.
One second. Hello, caller.
Sorry, man. I'm glad to go to bed. I just
Okay.
I thought you said you had any.
Yeah, I do. Hold on.
What's up? Hello. Oh. Hello. Are you retard? Grand retardo.
Howdy.
Howdy. What's up?
Nothing.
All right. So were you are you still recording?
Yes.
Did you see Burnout Paradise?
No.
Had it up. I'll try and stream it here. Let's see if I can do it over Discord. Share your screen. Okay, can you? Yeah. Okay, you can see that, right?
Yeah.
So I've been playing this the entire time we've been talking, and probably tell. No more retarded than when I wasn't playing it. Cheers. What do you think? Holy shit. Christ. Oh, my fucking steering is on. So, pretty fucking fast.
How big is the map?
It's like perfectly sized, is what I'd say. Like, it's big, but it's not huge. It's not like ginormous or like the biggest map you've ever seen or anything. But there's no point at which like I want it to be bigger. Really, it's like every part of it's nice and feels nice, and there's
Is
always
it a
like
good variety of different stuff?
I don't know. I would say yes, but it depends on what criteria. If you mean like visually, probably not really. If you mean like stays entertaining and like, but this is what I would say. I would say that every single part of the map is insanely intricate. Like every single part of the map has like 2 different pathways that loop to some other part of the map, or like jump off a giant ramp which connects you to somewhere else. Like it's like you know how in Dark Souls it's like it's an interweaving map.
Yeah.
Where, like, you'll come out 4 hours after into the same place you were a minute ago, and like, oh wow, I see how that connects now. And it's like that's what this map is like, which is like all of it is like you could tell very like carefully designed to connect. But anyways, let me. So the only like important things are like there's games. I do those sometimes even when I'm meditating. Sometimes you have to crash 4 other cars. Sometimes you're getting chased by 2 people, and then you have to make it to the finish line.
Is there multiplayer?
There used to be. I don't think there is anymore.
I just saw it said offline.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. As far as like there used to be online, but I don't think either it's not active or it literally like got scrapped because they don't pay for the servers anymore. I'm pretty sure it's the same one. But anyways, so there's like races where you like race against 8 people. Like you have to smash 4 people off the road, or people trying to smash you off the road, or you know, all those different kinds of like races and stuff. But mostly I just do this, which is just go around the map as fast as possible. And it is so relaxing. And like yet again with that map being perfectly sized thing, it's like if a map is too big, then it's like it is always unfamiliar and like jarring, and like I can't focus. With this map, it's like get familiar with it relatively quickly, and then it feels like whenever you don't know this feeling. Maybe you do on the bike. Maybe there's like a similar type feeling. I can't really. Maybe yeah. I don't know. Even though I ride a bike, I can't tell. Whenever you would like, so if I'm in a car, then I know the road surrounding my house really well, and it's like I could literally drive those roads at 120 miles an hour, and I would never crash. I could do it, and I could do it perfectly every time. But then if I went to like, you know, if I just drove 45 minutes away, the roads would be just as objectively difficult. But I couldn't even take those at 60 because I don't know where the turns are about to be. And so it's the same thing where it's like you want to be able to take the turns fast because you have the turns memorized. And with this map being like medium or smallish, and I wouldn't even say that. I would honestly say the map's big, but probably just feels big. But God, I wasn't writing as much as a second ago. I wasn't staying as far back.
Is there any way to turn that off?
No, which is really annoying. To a part of me, and then also to another part of me, it's like I do want there to be some punishment for crashing.
Yeah.
I don't crash all the time, so it is kind of nice in that way. And it's not that long, but yeah, it is. Sometimes it looks cool. Try being silent. I did my turbo boost, so now I'm like going faster than you've ever seen. Literally like flying a fucking spaceship. Oh my God. Jesus. I was playing earlier and I was sweating. Indoors, shirtless, cold, sweating from the adrenaline playing this game. That is when you know you have a good fucking driving game. Like,
it feels like advanced Subway Surfers.
Yeah, it is. It's like all of those old mobile games on fucking turbo heroin. It's insane. Like, do you see how fucking fast I'm right now? Dude, I'm telling you, there are some parts of this map, like right there, where it's like your fast twitch muscle, it's like you're in an MMA fight. You can't make a single fucking mistake or you're dead. It's crazy. And it's good. That's awesome. That's the exact feeling I want for meditating. Because then you have to go in the flow state or you fail. Yeah. So anyway,
interesting. I see it. The reviews are mixed on it.
The reason the reviews are mixed is because of what I was saying. The game doesn't fucking work unless you go in and you try and mod it yourself. And so that's why the reviews are mixed. It's not because the game isn't fun. everyone. This game is regarded as, like, since it came out in 2008, one of the best car games that have ever been made, and still to this day, it's considered like the best open world, fast paced car game ever. Not even like for its time, but like still, like they still haven't made a game as good as this. It does the same kind of thing. That's what people think about the game as far as when it's not riddled with the tech issues that when it came with the PC. Anyways, great game. I highly recommend trying that in VR. I'm sure it'll be fun. Was it choppy?
It was a little bit choppy, yeah.
Let me know. I'm sure that was like brutal to watch.
The way it combined with the graphics made it feel like an app game, but the graphics still was kind of more surprising because like it felt very realistic, like it felt like Skyrim level realistic.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Apparently, like that's a common thing, which is like the people before us, they would talk about how like the horror games on the like PS1 or PS2, because they were so pixelated, it was actually a lot scarier than modern games, even with super hyper realistic graphics, because you had to fill in the gaps in your mind like it was a book, right? And those small pixelated things moving through the darkness on Silent Hill 1 or whatever, fucking Resident Evil 1. Whenever you were filling in the gaps with your mind, it was like horrific. And I'm sure that's probably what we're doing with like Skyrim and this, where it's like these almost feel more realistic than like the hyper realistic ones, because the hyper realistic ones just feel like a video game. These sort of like
yeah, the more realistic you try to be, the more I see it's like, no, this is not realistic.
Yeah, or like, you know how it's like how I always talk about that framework of if you think the person writing can make a perfect art piece, then you're a lot more likely to consume the art piece as though it was perfect, like to enjoy it a lot more, because you understand the artist has the capability of making something perfect and it's not just like accidental. And that's the same thing with this, where it's like the technological limitations made it where you could fill in the gaps and make it realistic in your head, because they literally couldn't. Where now it's like they try so hard and they still can't, and it doesn't even feel like intentional. It feels like sad.
Yeah.
Anyways, stop, restart recording. I know you do.